This is a podcast from the Business Times.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. Here's your market-focused daily closing bell update by the Business Times. Bond yields climbed today to their highest in decades, with oil prices rising for a third day and stocks under pressure in Asian trade as a U.S.-Iran truce expired, and Tehran threatened to adopt a fully offensive military posture. The yield on the U.S. 30-year Treasury bond rose as much as 1.6 basis points to an intraday high, its highest in almost 20 years. Its 10-year counterpart traded up 1.8 basis points. S&P 500 E-mini futures lost 0.4% as MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan slid 0.8%, reversing early gains as stocks in South Korea, Taiwan, and China weighed on the benchmark. South Korea's Kospi erased an early gain of more than 3% as the Seoul market returned after a holiday to tumble 2.1%, while the Nikkei 225 fell 2.2%. Brent crude futures edged up 0.4% to just over 90 a barrel, as a rally in oil prices extended into a third consecutive day in Asian trade. As the recent global sell-off in bonds deepened, the yield on the 10-year Japanese government bond rose 1.5 basis points at just under 3%. A three-decade high. Gold was down 0.6% at just under $4,400, snapping 2 days of gains. Temasek-backed Milky Mist Dairy Food rose roughly 30% in its Indian trading debut today, as investors bet on growing demand for value-added dairy products and the company's expansion beyond its southern India stronghold. China's exports of refined oil products in July fell 12.9% year-on-year, but rose 6.7% from the previous month, as the easing of export curbs allowed refiners under pressure to ship more fuel overseas. The key fuel supplier to Asia curbed exports sharply in March to protect its domestic market from the oil shock caused by the closure of the Strait of Hormuz in the Iran war. Beijing eased those controls in July and again in August, when officials approved enough exports to exceed pre-war levels. And Anthropic's annual revenue run rate topped $65 billion by the end of July, underscoring the Claude creator's rapid growth ahead of a potential public listing later this year. The AI startup's latest revenue run rate, a metric that projects annual performance by extrapolating current sales levels, was up from the $47 billion in May, and an extraordinary jump from about $9 billion at the end of 2025. That's it for today. For more business news and market updates, visit bt.sg and Lens on Daily for the latest tomorrow at 10 a.m.
This is a podcast by the Business Times. Find more BT podcasts at businesstimes.com.sg/podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. This podcast is meant to provide general information only. SPH Media accepts no liability for loss arising from any reliance on the podcast or use of third parties' products and services. Please consult professional advisors for independent advice.